For decades, this story was buried, hidden beneath layers of lies and deception. What you're about to hear was hidden from the world, until now. And what we uncovered next changes everything. It began with a single document, a report that no one was supposed to find. A man, a researcher with no connection to fame or power, stumbled across it in a dusty archive. The paper detailed events that, if true, would rewrite history. At first, he thought it was a mistake, a bureaucratic error. But the more he dug, the more he realized the web of lies was deliberate, carefully constructed to protect someone, or something. No one knew the full story. And why would they? The people in power had woven a narrative so convincing that generations swallowed it without question. But hidden in plain sight were inconsistencies, details that didn't add up, dates that clashed, and witnesses who vanished without a trace. One neighbor, a retired official, whispered in fear, "They told me to forget, to look the other way." Then came the photographs, faded, torn, but undeniable. They showed meetings, gatherings, moments that should never have existed in the public record. Who could have imagined the truth hiding behind those yellowed pages? What we discovered next was even more shocking. People trusted the wrong figures. The very authorities sworn to protect them were the architects of the deception. But that's not even the worst part. A second diary surfaced, buried in a wall of a long-abandoned building. Its entries were chaotic, frantic, written in a hand that trembled with fear. The author described secret experiments, cover-ups, and decisions that affected thousands of lives. And it all pointed back to one central lie, one lie so enormous, so terrifying, that if it became public, it would destroy reputations and shake the foundations of what everyone believed. Everything you thought you knew about this story is about to change, because the lies weren't just written on paper. They were enforced through silence, intimidation, and fear. People disappeared, evidence was destroyed, and yet, fragments survived, enough for us to piece together the unimaginable truth. Witness accounts began to emerge. People who had lived in the shadows of the scandal came forward with trembling voices. "I saw them take it," one woman confessed. "I tried to stop them, but they warned me. They said no one could know." Each testimony added layers to the puzzle. Every revelation contradicted the official story, painting a reality far darker than the public ever imagined. And the twist? The very institution that claimed to uphold justice had been manipulating every detail from the start. Records were altered, statements fabricated, and key players silenced. Who could have imagined that those entrusted with the truth were the ones burying it? No one could explain what happened next. If you want to see what they tried to hide next, stay tuned, because what comes after will leave you speechless. The deeper we dug, the more impossible it became to ignore the pattern. Each layer of deception led to another, like a maze designed to trap anyone who dared to question it. What we uncovered next will leave you speechless: hidden meetings, secret correspondences, and codes embedded in documents meant to mislead investigators. One shocking piece of evidence was a series of audio recordings, smuggled out before the files were destroyed. Voices of people long assumed innocent revealed intentions that were cold, calculated, and chilling. Plans to manipulate entire communities, to rewrite facts, to control perception. It wasn't theory, it was meticulously executed. And somehow, the public remained oblivious. How could they not know? The answer is terrifying. The lie was engineered to feel real, to feel natural, almost undeniable. Then came a map, obscure, folded, yellowed with age, showing locations no one had ever connected. Sites of disappearances, of buried truths, all linked in a pattern too precise to be coincidence. Who orchestrated it, and why? The clues pointed to a network so secret, so entrenched, that it had infiltrated institutions meant to protect the truth. Every lead we followed was blocked, every witness intimidated. But fragments survived, whispers that refused to die. And the revelations didn't stop there. Documents revealed financial trails, funding channels, and connections spanning decades. The people who profited were not only complicit, they were the puppet masters. And what's worse, they had manipulated public perception so convincingly that anyone questioning the narrative was branded a fool, a conspiracy theorist, someone to ignore, to ridicule, to erase. Everything you thought you knew about this case is wrong. The crimes weren't random, they were orchestrated. The cover-ups weren't mistakes, they were strategy. And the lies weren't just words, they were weapons, designed to control, to rewrite history itself. No one could have predicted the next revelation. Hidden in a vault, forgotten for decades, was a ledger detailing events that contradicted every official record. Names, dates, actions meticulously documented, yet never made public. Each page was a punch to the gut, proof that the truth had been deliberately erased. Who would benefit from such a lie? And what lengths would they go to protect it? If you think this story ends here, think again. The next piece of evidence changes everything. Entire narratives we believed for generations collapse when confronted with the reality hidden in these pages. And as we piece it together, one thing becomes clear. The world as we know it has been built on lies, and those lies were constructed to last until now. The truth has been buried for decades, but now it's finally coming to light. And the next revelation will change everything you thought you knew. Check the next episode to uncover more shocking truths, because what comes next isn't just hidden history. It's a blueprint of deception designed to manipulate the world itself.